Hello and welcome to Fun Fact Friday, and today we are talking about food. As you see, I have my lunch in front of me, my strawberry acai lemonade, my wonderful Cheetos, and my sandwich I'm eating. But let's go ahead and jump right on in and talk about some very interesting facts about food that you may or may not know. Did you know that sense of taste and smell starts before we are born? That's right. They're composed of the receptors of the nerve fibers and are necessary to train in order to be able to function in the best way. The first encounter of humans with different tastes starts before we are born. The child, while still in the room through the amniotic fluid, inhales the smells of food consumed by the mother. After the arrival in the world, a child during breastfeeding practices gulps taste as through breast milk meets certain aromas and taste, and so on. And therefore, mothers who want their children to eat fruits and vegetables and other healthy nutritious foods must also consume this kind of food during pregnancy and lactation periods. Sunlight influences food directly. The love of food is associated with sunlight, which was an important factor. It affects appetite, secretion of hormones, the normal rhythms of sleep and mood. It stimulates serotonin, which contribute to the feelings of our well-being and our happiness. That's why you are healthier when you eat foods that are not processed and foods that are more grown in gardens, and you can buy them at farmers markets and places like that. During the day, the brain secretes a large amount of this hormone, the serotonin, and at night it turns into melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep and wakefulness. So when there is no sunlight, the body tries to compensate for the lack of substances that inflict pleasure. Caffeine, sugar we consume during the day stimulate the secretion of serotonin. Alcohol stimulates its production in the evenings. That's why we drink coffee in the morning and a lot of people drink beer and wine in the evening. During Christmas holidays, when the days are shorter, what do we crave? Cookies and wine. Eggnog. The food culture is the basis for proper eating. Nowadays, a healthy diet is associated with our wish to be thin, therefore healthy. The food culture has completely changed. Sociologists believe that today, due to changes in our society, we feed ourselves completely different than before. Great choice of product that is available to us in every market leads us to unhealthy food. Unhealthy food, of course, is cheaper than more effective and healthy food, which tends to be more expensive. You want to develop a culture of healthy eating and not worry so much about special diets. Don't worry about the social and emotional aspects of your food. You need to make sure that you are trying different foods and concepts of cuisines and know about the food system and the groups of foods that you're eating. Some facts about food that we probably didn't know. In order to make 1 kilogram of honey, bees must visit 4 million flowers, or a distance to fly around the planet 4 times. And usually I have bees, so I know that bees will travel up to a mile to search for food. After the tomato, the banana is the most popular fruit in the world. There are more than 10,000 kinds of tomatoes. If eaten in large quantities, nutmeg can cause hallucinations. That must be an awful lot of nutmeg, because I put nutmeg and cinnamon in a lot of the winter spices and things, when I'm making apple butter and things like that. That has to be an awful lot of nutmeg to make hallucinations. During the Middle Ages, sugar was a luxury food, and it was 9 times more expensive than milk. And y'all know milk prices have gone up. Milk is expensive now. It is almost $5 a gallon. More than 90% of caught fish catches is caught in the northern hemisphere. Wine is sold in tinted bottles because it spoils when it's exposed to light. Annual worldwide people eat up about 1 billion snails. All 13 minerals necessary for the humans can be found in alcoholic beverages, believe it or not. Ketchup in the 19th century was used as a cure for diarrhea, among others. It is believed that tea was accidentally discovered by a Chinese emperor in 2737 BC when the wind brought the leaves into a pot of boiling water. Americans eat twice as much meat than Europeans, even more than 50 pounds per person per year. The French export 140 million bottles of champagne, and for local use they produce an additional 180 million bottles. It is known that vitamin A prevents night blindness, and carrots are rich in it. One carrot contains more than 200% of the recommended daily intake of this vitamin. So eat your carrots and it'll make your eyes healthy. True fact. Onions, apples, and potatoes have the same taste. The differences that we feel are caused by their individual scents. That's very interesting. Apples float because they contain 25% air. Cabbage contains 91% water. For digesting, celery takes more calories than it contains. Corn always has an odd number of grains. Honey is the only food that will never spoil. Peanuts are one of the ingredients of dynamite, believe it or not. Swallowing 1 teaspoon of sugar without liquids usually helps get rid of hiccups. Ugh, wouldn't want to eat sugar like that. Orthorexia nervosa is an eating disorder when people are obsessed with eating healthy food. I did not know that. Tea bags were designed, they say, the bag itself, by Thomas Sullivan in 1908 in New York. In South Africa, termites and ants are often roasted and eaten in handfuls like popcorn. Pearls can melt into vinegar. Ancient Greeks chewed a rubbery substance called mastic that originates from the bark of a tree. The fear of vegetables is called nophobia. In the U.S., lettuce is the second most popular vegetable, and you need to be careful about what kind of lettuce you get because some of them are 99% water. The average person eats about 4 pounds of grapes during the year. In the world, there are about 7,000 varieties of apples, and apples, pears, cherries, and strawberries are members of the rose family. And believe it or not, you can actually put hibiscus flowers and roses. This is just a little extra information. You can put them, you can dry them out and put them in teas and drink them with hot teas or cold teas. When the cranberries are ripe, they bounce like a rubber ball. Tomatoes are called vegetables, even though it's a fruit. And if you want to speed pineapple ripening to eat it as soon as possible, then you can do so by turning it upside down on its leaves. Pumpkin comes from Mexico, pumpkin comes from Mexico. They said it appeared before some 9,000 years ago, but I think we've only been on the earth about 6,000 years. Consuming large amounts of beets make your urine turn pink. I love beets, but I don't think I eat enough to make it do that. If you bite a wooden spoon while chopping onions, your eyes will not tear up. I've never done that, but what I usually do is just put on my sunglasses when I'm chopping. Last but not least, fun fact food for Friday. Each pineapple plant produces only 1 pineapple per year. I hope you've enjoyed these fun facts about food, and we will catch you next time on Fun Fact Friday. Y'all have a blessed weekend.